Welcome back to Bulletproof Mindset, where we help you bulletproof your mind and body through health, fitness, and a wee bit of entertainment. So today's episode, we have 12 points for you. If you're not lifting weights, listen to this episode because we have got 12 absolute bangers as to why you should be. We missed one point out, though, that James wants to make sure we say.
Look, it's the biggest point for me. It will increase your sex drive, so don't fuck that up.
Aye, so if you want to find out a wee bit more about that, here we go.
So Dale, I know you don't enjoy lifting weights that much, but we're going to go into why we should lift weights, right? I know you've lifted weight for about, is it 6 months or something?
Yeah. Well, here's a wee benefit that you might know: you can actually gain more muscle by lifting weights. I don't know what the fuck you've been doing.
Yeah, I do, mate. I lift finger weights.
Wee pokey. Don't know why I said that. But no, in the real note, we've not really done an episode on. We always talk about why you should lift weights, but we've not really spoke to some of the other benefits. So obviously, I was saying there, building muscle. That's
the main one.
That's a given one. But there is other benefits to lifting weights. We done the episode with anyone that's in advanced age or as you get older, or can you be too old to lift weights? So let's just talk about it in general then.
A lot of the benefits for being older is the same as being younger. But so we'll just get right into it. We'll go for the first point, and that is, as we've already spoke about, muscle growth. And in particular, what we're going to be talking about here is for us is the main compound lifts. So your overhead press, your bench press, or you don't need to bench press with a barbell, you can bench press with dumbbells. Just that you're pushing and your squats and deadlifts. Yeah.
So we're saying compound lifts here. These can be with barbells or dumbbells. Yeah. I think the point is that compound lifts where. What we mean by that is multiple muscle groups working at one time, as opposed to what's referred to as isolation work, because that's like your cable tensions, or you can isolate some free weight stuff, but more often than not, using free weights, if you're standing, for example, you have to engage your core, your legs are involved, even though you might be pressing above head, for example.
A lot of full body movements and not just single joint movements, like your bicep curls, like your tricep extensions. They will build your biceps, your triceps, and they will build muscle, but they won't give you the benefits that we're going to go over today for longevity, etc.
Yeah, and I think muscle growth as well, everyone, if you're talking to any girls that you've taken on for PTing, I know when you say muscle growth, like straight away you can see their face
shit herself.
Hey, I don't want to look like a fucking bodybuilder. It's like, well, trust me,
you won't.
15 years I've been trying and I still don't look like one.
It's always the same thing, isn't it? Like, I don't want to get too bulky. I was like, look, I try and get too bulky and I fucking can't do it. I was like, you who's not putting in the maximum effort yet, you're never going to get there, so don't worry. Don't worry.
The way I like to phrase this is toning was a word that was sort of made up from the fitness space. So this is what you can think about when we say adding muscle. If you're a female, this will add that tone to your body. It will sculpt and shape your body the way that you're wanting it to. So say you've got a flat bum and you want to add some meat to the bunda, then
that's what you
lifting
do.
Lifting weights, compound lifts will help you sculpt and shape your body in that direction. So for guys, they want bigger arms, a bigger chest, bigger back. Then lifting weights has to be one of the, if it is the only way to,
unless you have an extremely physical job, and even then you can't target any muscles doing that physical job, because it's like, oh, I need to do it this way, and your boss is like, well, fuck you, you're going that way.
So I think about, like, my dad I don't know if my dad's been one of them that stepped in and out of the gym maybe a handful of times in his whole lifetime, but my dad has big ass fucking forearms.
That's quite a common thing, isn't
it? He's fucking like before the days of like nail guns and all that.
They have to just put them all in.
He was over at the gym on Sunday, and he was building like a frame to hide those wonky mirrors. And he was like, your Uncle Ian's got my nail gun. He says, back to the old school, so drilled a wee pilot hole, put the nail in, scalp. Now I just watched him do it. He's in his 50s.
Aye.
Still got that scalp. But he's got the beer belly with it though. But his forearms are huge, and you just think, man, there's people training to get their arms that size. So yes,
my dad's got the opposite. My dad has really big calves.
Oh, does he, for running?
For cycling.
Aye, cycling.
And like, I would like my calves will never get to this size. And my dad's the same, got the beer belly, but he got the big calves, big quads, and he doesn't, obviously up here he's quite small. You know what I mean? I'm like, how the fuck did you get them?
You need to train them.
It's training them in a non-conventional way. Like, would you do a cycle for 30 years? Right, fuck that.
Aye. So lifting weights, obviously, as we said there, muscle growth is one of the key benefits. I think everyone sort of thinks about it that way. With gaining muscle, you obviously lose body fat at the same time as well. So that is another point that you can always think of. But let's get on to some other benefits that might not cross some people's minds. So let's go on to this next point then.
So the next point is it increases metabolism, and the first way that it does that is any pound of muscle you have on your body, I think it's 6 calories it burns extra per day. That's not the main focus of where your metabolism speeds up. That is a focus. Obviously, if you have more muscle, you have a faster BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. But also, to keep that muscle, you need to put in effort. So that's even more energy you're expending.
And also to gain it, you need to put in effort in the first place.
You need to put in way more effort to gain muscle. So if your goal is, I need to want to keep gaining muscle, so you're lifting more and more weights every single week, you're expending more energy. And with that increased metabolism, you can eat more food. And that's where so many people that are eating so little food and they're gaining so much weight, it's because they're not lifting weights, gaining muscle, and putting their energy into lifting weights, lifting compounds.
So putting it into perspective, lifting weights to gain muscle, to increase your metabolism here, this is just allows everything to I'm skipping ahead to the point we got there, but being able to eat more food, as you said there, the more food that you can eat, like the more you can actually enjoy your life. And I know we'll come on to some of these other points in a sec, but if you, like, how shit would it be if you are, like, so say you fall into the camp where you don't lift weights just now, you think lifting weights is for the angry bodybuilders, and it's intimidating and all that shit, right? So you don't want to lift the weights just now, but you don't have the luxury, or if you enjoy going out for dinner, going out for drinks with friends, and you do that in a regular occurrence, then unfortunately as time goes on, you're going to fall into the overweight category, maybe even the obese category. You're going to have a really shit quality of life. So lifting weights is like a protective mechanism against enjoying your life in a way.
You lift weights, you eat more food, you enjoy the food, because food is one of the main things that people do enjoy in life. And when people don't lift weights and they're enjoying their food, that's what causes obesity.
And it's hard work, but if you put all that hard work in just now for the next couple of years, the way I always like to say there's James version 1 and version 2, right? And both of you, in a couple of years' time when you've had a wee bit more muscle mass, both of you sit down and you watch Netflix all day and you eat the same calories. Version 2 of you that's put in all this work will be burning more calories, so that means you can enjoy it. That means you physically can enjoy more food.
100%.
Love it.
100%. Okay, so you go to the next point. You go.
All right, I'm allowed to
you're allowed to speak.
So lower risk of injury. So this is one that's I don't know if it's because how young I am just now, but I've never experienced a bad injury. I would say
that haircut would tell me you're old.
Didn't even talk about that. Shave my head.
He's having a midlife crisis.
I was gonna leave this for the next episode, but we're not getting it, right? I'm having a mental breakdown just now, so I was like, fuck it. Britney Spears 2007.
Yes.
Do you know what? Actually, I think I said it.
No, you did actually. Mate, it's like.
So leave me alone, right?
No, but I had to be said.
But lower risk of injury. So, adding stress and creating resistance for your joints, your tendons, your ligaments, and then and stress onto your muscles. If with your body constantly going through that cycle, you have a fall. You land on your shoulder funny. The recovery chance and the speed of recovery on that will be increased from going through all those types of stresses. And I think as well, like this is probably another good episode. Is not to, you mentioned it way back in one of the episodes I remember, but not training through an injury, but moving through an injury, and not just fully isolating your whole body. Like, I've hurt my right arm,
I'm going to sit and do fuck all.
I'm going to do nothing. Because then it becomes harder and harder, whereas the person who continues to work out and continues to move increases the blood flow all over the body, so it means the nutrients can get to parts of the body it's not getting to. It's that healing process and recovery
so much
quicker.
So much quicker. So, I mean, when you look at it, we spoke about the 4 main compounds. So you've got your overhead press, your bench press, your squat and your deadlift. That is a squat pattern, a hip hinge, a press and a push. Every single thing you do in life includes all of them. So if you're bending over, you should be hip hinging. If you're going down to the floor, you should be squatting. If you're picking up anything as you're doing it, you're pushing and you're pulling. You know what I mean? So if you're strong on all the movements in the gym, when you go outside the gym, there's less risk of injury because, as you said, your joints, your ligaments and your muscles in all the planes of movement are stronger. Instead of just going into the gym and going, right, I'm going to do my biceps, my triceps. Yeah, it's good having bigger biceps and triceps, but it is no difference to the quality of life outside the gym, having bigger biceps and triceps?
I think it shifts.
Apart from when somebody goes, "Oh, you've got big biceps and triceps," and you go,
"Oh, I'm going to hit
"Oh,
the gym. I'm going to hit biceps 5 more times."
aye. But apart from that, if we're talking about lower risk of injury, you're looking to hit the 4 movement patterns every single week, and you're looking to put yourself under some stress during that time.
And even with those compounds, like we're saying these are so important because people don't move as much just now.
Yeah.
But even for someone that's constantly doing compounds, then the next kind of step up from there is bilateral movements, because they still have their flaws. Like everything has its flaws. This is why you need to take everything that we do say with a pinch of salt almost, and think, right, this isn't the be all and end all, but it is something to listen and kind of recognise where do you stand.
So that was one of the other points, as you said. If you squat, deadlift, push and pull,
you're in this. What's that plane called? Oh my god, is it in a PT test? Fuck,
frontal plane. I don't know. Right, we could be talking shit there, but it doesn't matter. You're working in one plane of motion, right? But what it will tell you is if you look at if you record your sets, and this is another thing that I have to say to everybody: look, record your sets, right? Record your if you don't want to record every set, what I would do is I would record your first set and your last set. Your sets in the middle don't really matter too much, because they'll be the ones where the first set will be when you're fresh, the last set will be when you're fatigued. The sets in the middle will probably be your best sets, right? If you video your sets, you'll see where your flaws are, and then you go, right, this is my flaw. Say you've got on a squat, you've got like a hip shift. Then you know that one of your sides of your hips is tighter than the other. So then you know when you go to do your bilateral and your mobility, you know what to work on more.
One side, yeah.
So by doing these big lifts, you see your main weaknesses. If you keep getting injured at one side of your body when you're doing a big lift, you know there's a weakness either that side or the other side.
And that's what injuries really are. It's weaknesses.
It's the weaknesses.
Unless it's like a real bad fall. Like I've got Andy. I'm training him going up to he's away snowboarding again, and he came to PT with me a year ago, and then it was put on pause because he went like 3 different trips and snowboarding. Everyone he came back with, he was stiffer and stiffer, because it was such a unique movement. So now that we've laid some amazing foundation, some incredible strengths, and someone who doesn't lift weights before is lifting weights now and fucking killing it. So we're doing a lot of bilateral movements to strengthen his ankles, his core, because he's got to be on a snowboard and he's going to be twisting and turning. So when it comes to lifting weights, there's always like you need to kind of think, right, what's your goal? Okay, what is your goal, and kind of tailor it towards that process. But even with that, if we just stay on that training for the next 6 months, for example, there is then flaws in other aspects. Like we don't do much pressing overhead. We're no deadlifting as much. We're no squatting as much with both feet. So then there's that frontal pain, frontal plane, as you said. There's now weaknesses in that. So that's why when you lift weights, sticking to this is why I hate sticking to the same program for like 12 weeks. If it works, it works, and for most people it does, but that's why I'm a big advocate of laying foundations and moving through phases. Like, I'm going to expose you to 4 weeks of this phase, and then we're going to go 4 weeks this phase, and then we'll go 4 weeks that phase, until that person's got enough experience, and then they turn around and go, right, you know what, I love that phase, I'm going to stay in that for 6, maybe 8, and then I'm going to go back to that one. I didn't like that one too much, but I'm still going to go it because I know the value that it brings me, my training. Now you have those types of training in your toolbox, in your arsenal, to then apply to your lifting.
And it also makes it that a little bit less boring, because training adherence is one of the main things that keeps you going back. Do you actually enjoy it? And obviously, I always say this, and I'll say it again: if you're shite at it, you won't enjoy it. So take your time to learn it. If you still don't enjoy it, then maybe that style is not for you. The exercise might be for you, but the way you're doing it, the day where you're doing the full workout, might just not be for you. So I'm like you. I've just I had someone who was quite athletic, and I put in like lateral bounds in that, something that I'd never done, and I would do them. I was like, I feel like in a commercial gym, I'm like, oh, this is not what you want to be doing in front of everybody. But I don't know, like, see the power I felt from it. It was different.
You're going to end up on the gains page. Look at this prick.
So I was doing like lateral bounds into vertical jumps.
So for people, that's just jump, basically it's side jumps, and then into
a full jump straight up. But like to do that kind of movement, I sat and said to myself, look, the training that I was doing was all right, but it wasn't going to fit into my lifestyle, the priorities I had now. So I went, what do I want to do? I want to be strong at squatting, deadlifting, and I want to be powerful. I want to be agile. Explosive. So I added some of that movement into my training. And as we're saying, like, you got to look at your goals and go, What is my goals? You don't just go in and do the same shit all the time, blah, 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 blah. You need to change it up. You need to find new movements that put, like, if you're looking for power, add some power in. If you're looking for some sagittal plane movements, which is side to side, add that in.
Aye. And this leads nicely into the next point here. So, improved brain cognition.
Yeah.
Now, we said
100%.
this last time for the older population that might be starting to work out, but especially for like younger, like all lifting weights does is getting you aware of where your body is in space and time. You know for a fact when you meet someone or when you have a client and they've had a sports background and then someone who hasn't, it's just the person who has a sports background is more aware of put your left foot out to the left, straighten your posture up, bring your chest out. Some people just don't have the coordination for that, so being able to mentally connect to all these different parts of your body will increase blood flow, will increase we'll come on to the hormonal impacts in that in a sec, but just being aware of that then has that, which is another reason why the lower risk of injury is there. I've got somebody who is kind of challenged more so like artistically, and what we got him doing, I got him to lift his right hand up as his left leg went forward, to try and get the coordination in, and see the how his mental focus has changed just by practicing that one exercise. Now that's no weights, that's a free weight movement, but we've not added dumbbells to that. But how quick that's changed his cognition in his brain is unreal, and it's something that I was like, well, like at the start, like when I was reading up about it, I was like, I don't see the value in it, and I was like, fuck it, you need to try something if you know to kind of gain the experience from it. And that was one of the more ground breaking movements that I've done with someone and that fits that criteria, and I'm like, holy shit, there's a bigger picture here than just building muscle and losing fat. I know that should 100%. Go, but look how you're carrying yourself now, look how sharp you are. 100%. So was that same individual when he was pressing above head, he didn't realise he had an imbalance. So this is another positive benefit of lifting weights. Especially with dumbbells, unilateral work will help fix imbalances. So his right arm came directly above his head, and his left arm was all the way forward. It's because his right arm was in use every single day of his life because he's got a physical job. His left arm he never really used.
A lot of weaknesses.
So when I said like we were pressing with dumbbells in over time, and I said it was only a couple of months ago we were in the gym, and I was like, right, let's go back to standing overhead with dumbbells. I was like, we've not done this in a wee while, and he done it, and I was like, look at that, perfect. Like there's an imbalance that's fixed.
I had a similar situation, so it was obvious when they were doing the shoulder press, so that their right arm would get up before their left arm, but it was more obvious when they were doing like a pull down. So basically their right arm would always overtake, and then it would catch up. And I said to her, I was like, just do dead hangs at the end of your sessions. I was like, that's it.
Strengthen the joint.
Just strengthen your lat. Make sure that lat's no tight, because basically she was in a similar situation. What she done, she sat at a desk all day. With the mouse. You know what I mean? So this lat was always stretched. But this side was never stretched. So I just said to her, just hang, because that means that this side and this side. And then 2 months later, I got her back on the lat pull down. It was fine.
Aye, brilliant.
So it's the same thing. So like you're using these exercises to find weaknesses, and then once you've got the problem, then you can get the solution.
Aye. And the last part on brain cognition is like brain fog. I can't even say it. Brain fog.
Yeah.
And that kind of mistiness. So I know if I've not been working out, like I worked out this morning, I feel sharp. I feel more energised and I'm good to go. So mentally being switched on in that respect as well. That's
I trained yesterday as well, and I'm ready to go. Like I didn't need to train this morning because I trained 2 days in a row, and you're still there.
But it doesn't need to be an everyday thing. Like it was probably, we didn't actually mention that at the start, but I would say like anywhere from 1 to 3 times. If you're not lifting weights just now, try that and watch the benefits. Some of these benefits should click in.
The brain cognition will click in. I done something similar, but when seeing you look at a lateral bound, have you ever done lateral bounds?
Aye.
So where lateral bound, you bring, if you're going to the right side,
bring your left leg back.
Leg back. So I would bring my right knee up, my left hand up. Then I would swing my right leg back and bring my right hand up, and then I would bound to the side. So see, by simply doing that, the first couple of times I was like, fucking hell, I'm so fucking confused. And then a couple of days later, you've got it. And it's like, you're so in tune with your body after just a couple of sessions. And then that's where like even simply walking becomes easier.
Well, that's another thing as well. Like we're saying, like these movements are so important because we don't do much of them in our everyday life. Walking's becoming the next thing, man. Like
people are hunched over.
People just aren't walking. Like step we're calling. I seen Bio Lane and that Dr. Huberman that you love. They had a podcast.
Yeah. 3.5 hours.
I know they're talking. I've not got through it all yet, but they're talking about NEAT and how they're calling like steps NEAT. And it's not like
neat's what I do.
Aye, it's just moving about. Like
neat's what I do. Aye,
always hyped up.
See, when I watched that, I was like, no wonder I burn so many calories. It makes so fucking much. And it actually made so much sense when he said that.
I know. But this is the thing I want to say. Like, we are scheduling steps in for everyone because we don't physically move as much, and the only way that you can combat that with is one, having more muscle mass or consume less calories. And consuming less calories is far more difficult than building muscle. Building muscle is difficult, but consuming less calories
for the vast general population,
for what we're going through, how easy it is, and how accepted food is in every.
I mean, if you look at it on paper, eating less calories is easier.
It should be,
but it should be.
Simple.
In actual general population, it's not.
I know, it just becomes more difficult.
100%.
Right, next one.
So the next one is positively increases. Oh, I'm just up there. Oh, it's coming up. Positively increases youth hormones. So we wrote this down. So it sends a strong signal to increase the amount of free testosterone as well as androgen receptors to receive it in the male body. Obviously in the female body as well. But testosterone, I think we've got, and men have got like 8 to 10 times as much testosterone as women. Obviously there is some genetic outliers. Some women have close to as much as men, or some a wee bit more than some men.
For any man listening just now, like, if you don't know this, it's your main male hormone. If that testosterone is low, your mood is low. Yeah, your libido is low. You don't want to do anything.
Your drive is low.
Building muscle is extremely difficult to do.
Yeah,
cravings, like, it affects everything. Yeah, it affects.
So one of the things that I heard on the Huberman Lab podcast, this was a while ago, wasn't about building muscle or anything. One of the main things that testosterone does. So it was a study of men, right, and it increases your drive for competition on whatever you love, right? So they gave men testosterone, and basically they gave it to bankers, and so these bankers, right, they went in and they tried to make more money than ever, right, and they gave it to somebody else, and it was like they went in and done what their passion was more than ever.
Just fires up your drive.
A lot of people, it just fires up your drive, but it doesn't fire up your drive. You want to beat everybody else. So see people like that. Why is he so competitive? Why is he so competitive? Probably because he has high testosterone. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And you want to have high testosterone, you want to be competitive, but you want to be competitive to a point where you're not a fucking prick.
You want to be humble with it.
Yeah.
I think that's where, I don't know what it is about. I mean, I guess it's in our
you know when you got high testosterone.
Oh, I know, I'm dry.
Because you're
driven,
I'm
ready.
I'm going to fuck him. I'm going.
And when we spoke about it in the last episode, sleep is one of the most impactful things that you can do. 100%. I had a fucking great sleep. You know what?
I had a great sleep last night as well. We
went to bed. So this is the first weekend in a long time. That Friday night, it was about 9 o'clock. I normally go to bed about 9. She was like, "What you want to do? You want to watch a film?" And I was like, "Bedtime. Can we go to bed?" We went to bed because I was training some clients in the morning on Saturday night. Went to bed about 9, half 9 again. Sunday. So I'm fucking on point. We slept in a wee bit this morning. The alarm didn't go off as much. Her alarm didn't go off when she wanted to go, but still got up. We trained. Went at a walk for when sunrise was coming up. Back in the house, and I'm like, right, I'm fucking ready. I'm feeling so good, and I felt so good the last couple of days. So testosterone, there's more to kind of talk on that one. But when we're talking about positively increasing youth hormones from a female perspective, I know you've got a wee point you want to say in that. But
so you want me?
No, go for it. Yeah.
So for women, balances the progesterone to estrogen hormone levels, and this can basically make you a little bit less hormonal. Yeah, aye. And you might be like, what the fuck's he saying about my fucking hormones? But you want your...
James actually wrote here that it makes you less crazy. So that was James's point. He wrote down, he goes, if women just lifted more weights, they wouldn't be as mental. So that's him right there.
But like, let's be honest, right? I did say that, right? 100% said that. But it makes me less mental as well as a man. Do you know what I mean?
It's an outlet.
As soon as I lift weights, I'm like, think fuck, man. Before I lift weights, I'm like, who the fuck's fucking got that?
Who wants punch?
What fucking bombs?
So there you have it, ladies.
Like, I'm just like pure. I can feel myself getting snappier. The longer the days go on when I don't lift weights, the quicker I feel myself getting snappier and snappier.
We didn't actually put this point down, but it's one that just came to mind. It's therapeutic. It's your outlet. It can be many people's what's the word for like therapy? Almost. I don't like saying that word, but
no for the. I wouldn't. We don't want to label the gym as therapy. But I know what you mean.
What do you call it? What do you call that place of church? Like when you go to the church is called a place like sanctuary.
Sanctuary. Yeah.
Is that the word?
I don't know.
But it is. It's like a sanctuary.
Time for mindfulness.
People. Yeah, it's your bit to switch off, to disconnect, so you can get into the zone or let out whatever demons that you're battling. For women,
a lot.
For women a lot. No, but for women, like your skin, your hair, your nails, this is even for men as well, this like lifting weights will positively increase this where you get a stronger immune system, which is nicely onto the next point.
It does, so we'll just go straight on. It boosts immunity. For me it doesn't. I'm fucking always no well.
Think about it though.
No, I'm kidding on. It does boost.
You have zero muscle. That's why your immunity's down. Like basically,
is that door open to leave?
No, but it does. I reckon your immunity would be far worse.
Oh no, it was no. Because I remember I used to go to raves before I went to the gym, and I'd be out for the full week.
What do you mean before? Oh, before. Oh, that's what you meant.
Before I went to the gym.
You went to the gym after a rave.
No. Before I ever stepped foot in a gym, sorry. And I'd be fucked for ages and ages and ages and ages, and pure no well. My skin was really, really bad. I didn't look. I looked terrible.
Aye.
As soon as I started going to the gym, I don't know if it's sunbeds either.
Got a wee bit of colour.
The tan might help. No, but if you look at my face when I was 18, I looked terrible before I started lifting weights. But when I got more into lifting weights, when I ate better, my skin, honestly, I don't even look like the same person, like my skin wise.
Yeah, I think there's other aspects to immunity here. Obviously, if you're not exposed to germs and all that sort of stuff, your immunity will be lower. Like that's quite a proven fact. But another part on immunity is as you get older, we spoke about on a previous episode. Shit's going to happen, and you might fall into the category where your risk of, I don't know, there might be something hereditary. Can we say that?
Hereditary.
Hereditary. Let's try again. Hereditary.
Yeah, that's fair.
In your family genetics, where you might have to encounter a big operation or go through, sadly, like chemo or something like that. Nothing's going to be more protective than not just lifting weights, but more so building muscle. Because it's like an insurance policy against.
Because you're going to lose muscle, so if you don't have any muscle to start with, you're gone. You don't have any muscle.
Because then you fall into the anorexic category where there's even more risk of fragile weakness and just.
But it starts taking away from your bones, etc.
Right, so we skipped over one there. So we kind of touched on that one. Changes in mood.
Changes in mood.
So you reckon like all problems would be solved if women lifted weights?
100%.
You standing by that?
No, if we all lifted weights, I mean, your relationships with everybody in your life is better. That's what I feel anyway. You know, the day after I lift weights, I am nice to everybody all day. Every day.
When you don't lift weights and you're just...
I'm like, fuck you, and fuck you. And they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know. And then I go, oh, fuck, I've not lifted.
But changes in mood, I think it comes down to a sense of achievement because you know it's good for you. And it's like anything. You set a rule or you set a list of things to do and you get it done,
achieve
you
it.
feel good. You get that dopamine hit.
You achieve it.
Your dopamine, don't you?
Achieving goals is one of the best things in life.
I know. So, next point then is eating food in moderation. So we touched on that a little bit earlier. So moderation, as I said, can click two buttons and pizza's at your door. Fast food, like I was actually just paying attention. Where was I? It was when I was at B&Q. There was a Burger King, a Starbucks, Greg's, McDonald's, KFC. I was like, holy shit, this is in the one street. It's
bad.
It's no wonder that it's so hard to kind of keep your calories within a range, especially if you're trying to stick to a diet or whatever it is. It's extremely difficult, and I've got so much empathy for people that are going through that. But if you lift weights, you will be building muscle, and if you're building muscle, as we said, your bank balance of how many calories you can consume before you add body fat is higher. And it's a given. And why would you not want that? Like, why would you want to spend? Why would you want? It's like the cost of living crisis just now. You're paid £1,200, so that's your calorie goal, right? You're £1,200. If you had an opportunity to increase your salary,
if you work harder, you make more money.
Why would you not?
You can spend more money.
It's
that simple.
You don't need to be so restricted or overspend, which then leads to weight gain, fat gain, and all that.
Exactly.
Stuff. So that I'd probably say that's one of my favourite benefits of.
I would say so as well. It's like, so when I go out for dinner, that's we obviously
worry about calories.
When clients ask me, should I worry? I'm like, if you're doing everything else right now, I feel not everything else, but if you're doing most other things right, you don't need to worry. You can go and enjoy yourself. That's what life's about. And I never go. I get starter, main, dessert every fucking time because I go. That's what I've worked hard, and I go and enjoy it. Do you know what? I don't rip the piss. You know what I mean? I don't get fucking 3 desserts, or when I go to a dessert place, I get 3 scoops of ice cream, a chocolate brownie, and whatever else. Do you know what I mean? People, they take the piss, but that's because they already don't feel good in themselves. That's why they get so much.
And that's just reminding me, so that this is where I was battling some severe body image issues. I thought, I went to the gym so I can eat this, I can do this. And I would be the guy that ever's, like, when we were in, I actually vividly remember in Jamaica, and I was having this was our first all-inclusive holiday in a resort. I was having Nutella pancakes, eggs, bacon, sausages. I was flat out.
Whatever the fuck I want.
Back at that picture, I'm like, oh, fucking hell, look how big I am.
Aye.
No, like hench, I mean just chunk, like big chunky monkey.
I know, I can imagine.
A tight t-shirt on my arms look big. I was like, right, I'm the bee's knees. But I'm actually at the point now where you're saying you have a starter, main, and dessert. Like paying attention to like my body coming back, not my body, but the signals coming back to me saying like you're actually full. Mate. You don't need this sweet bit.
So don't get it.
But if you want it, I can have it, and it's not going to have too much of an impact. But don't just take that in isolation, because one meal's not going to make you fat.
No.
It's not that, as I said, you've got everything else in check, and everything else must be out of check if that's continually happening to some people.
Yeah.
Okay, next one then.
So next one is it increases your bone density, which inevitably leads you to a lower risk of osteoporosis and arthritis.
Yeah, so back into the low risk of injury. Stronger your bones are, stronger your ligaments are, stronger your tendons, muscles, then the more protective you are against anything.
Like, I don't really think we actually need to go into that anymore, because we've explained it so much. It's simple. You want strong bones, you want strong ligaments, you want strong tendons, you want strong muscles.
So this one's going to hit home for you, because you said you used to be a wee nervous wreck at high school.
Yep.
But empowering and confidence levels changing then.
100%. So first I'll go into someone who trained who made probably the biggest confidence boost, the biggest confidence jump that I've ever seen so quickly. So this person came into me, and I remember the first time I met them, they were shaking. I went down, I sat them down and spoke about it. I says, I'll get you into the gym, we'll start off nice and light. Second time they come in, I wasn't there to meet them at the front door because I was with someone, and I went over and they were still shaking. I was like, fuck man, this is going to be tough. Like, I don't ever think I've ever seen them do it personally, be like this in the gym. This was when I'd been doing PT for probably a month. Took her round, made her feel comfortable, and I said, right, this is what we're going to do. She says, I'm going to come for PT. I was like, sounds good. So got off a PT, built her confidence up. After 2 months, she was coming into the gym herself at peak time.
Brilliant.
And the confidence was like, I could see it in her. Do you know what I mean? She was going on to she was going on to machines beside all the other men. I knew at first. She was like, I don't want to go into the middle of that bit with other men. Do you know what I mean? And that's how a lot of women will feel when they go into a busy gym environment, because most of the free weight people are men. And it can be very intimidating. But she was getting in there and she was like, fuck it, I'm using this, I'm doing this. This is my plan, I'm going to smash it. And I was like, that is insane. And she was more confident in her job, and I was like, this is fucking an insane change. And one other person, she was like, my boss said to me, you're getting bold. Do you know what I mean? She was in a meeting, she was like obviously she's over 50, and she's like, they're like, we've worked with you for years and years and years, and you've never voiced your opinion like this in meetings ever.
It just changes
and it's just the confidence from being confident in the gym, smashing our goals in the gym, being strong outside, and then going, you know what, if I can do it in there, I can do it outside. You know what I mean? If I can go in and put myself under that amount of stress myself, because remember, you got to go into a gym environment yourself. You need to put it through yourself. If you finish a gym session, you do it yourself. So she goes into, when she's with other people, she can be more confident because she's confident in herself when she's with herself.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing. And then the other benefit was
me.
You, isn't it?
You as well, probably. Like, fuck, man.
I would say, like, there's always been a part in me from as soon as I started working. I'd already had a couple of years of lifting weights under my belt.
Yeah.
As soon as I started working in, I would say, my first proper job, that corporate job in BT.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was as no surprise that I had I don't know where the leadership
you already had that drive.
I don't know where it comes from. I was telling you the time where we were taking a presentation, that was like that was like 3 months into, like, people who'd been working in a job for 30-40 years, and it felt natural, it felt good. It was still out of my comfort zone, but I was like, I can fucking do this. I'm just speaking to people.
Yeah.
And the boy who slipped up in that, like, is it a coincidence that one lifted weights or one trained and one didn't train?
No.
I don't think so, because I was already exposed to that regular stress, that kind of, in an environment that everyone's looking at me type of thing. I had to already overcome all of that. So standing in front of people, that's probably if you had to ask like the average person out there what's like one of the most intimidating things to do, stand in front of a crowd and try to deliver a presentation. Like that would be up there for most people. Gillian's she's got a presentation this week that she needs to do, and it's like, tell us 5 minutes about you, and she's like, I don't want to do this. And I goes,
5 minutes is a long time.
I know, that's exactly what
a long
she said.
time.
I said, it's not just speak about Cooper and then you're done.
Aye. I've got a dog and he's this and he's that.
Before she know it, you'll be rhyming it off. But that can be like, there's intimidating things that's going to happen. Like out with the gym, it's going to be in work. You're going to be exposed to something, and depending on what you're wanting to do for your career, there's going to be opportunities where if you're lifting weights, it's going to make you feel more confident and empower you to
I would say,
further.
for me, it made me realise I can get what I want in life. Do you know what I mean? It made me realise if I want it, I can go and work for it, I can go and get it. Whereas before, like, I'm just like, how the fuck do I get that? How the fuck do I get that? I'm like, how do I get my job that I want? How do I find my passion? How do, like, I get
There's a wee bit of victim mentality.
100%. Shifted that. I went, right, to get what I want, I need to work hard. You know what I mean? To get in good shape, you need to work hard. Like, it's a fact. You need to put in the effort. And once you realise, right, I've put in effort, I can get results. And it's not just in the gym, you can do that. You can do it outside the gym. And then the confidence just came from there. And I was just like, fuck it. I was just like, let's go. Let's no stop. Obviously, some hurdles along the way. There always will be.
It's no as clean cut anyone that's listening, but you're in it for the long game. You ain't in it for a quick fix, a quick return.
Always off
slowly,
days.
It's compound interest.
Yeah,
you go in. It's like that Simon Sinek. You go in one day, you don't see a change. You go in the next day, you don't see a change. A couple of months down, you might not still see a change, but things will be moving in the right direction as long as you keep that up.
As long as you're putting in the work, you will make changes.
Yeah. Okay. So again, we've probably touched on this point a wee bit, but reduces pain.
Yeah,
we were talking about this.
So Dale said in the car, have you ever met somebody who you just touch them and they go
But like that, you know more about this, because I remember one of the first times seeing any of your content, you put up a post about the pain receptors and the responses from that. But it's true, like we are so different, and pain is such a complex system in the body and how people perceive it. But lifting weights, being exposed to that, so like I never forget. I've got a couple of clients actually that I've trained in this last year, where I'm training them and then they get the response to that burn and they just drop the weight. I'm like, whoa, what is it? Have you hurt a muscle on that? And they're like, no, I just get a wee bit sore. And I'm like, what?
I had that today.
Did you?
Aye. Right, so well,
it's a wee bit scary, and you're like, oh fuck, what have I done?
We're doing walking lunges, and it was right at the end of his set. He went, oh. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I felt it in here. I'm like, where you're meant to feel it.
Is it burning? You're like trying to dissect what the feeling is.
What was that? I was like, it's just your muscle working. Shut up.
No sympathy.
No, there's no sympathy. I'll be honest. I don't give sympathy in that situation, because if I know what's happening, I was watching him with Hawkeye's.
Guy's knees.
I knew exactly.
No,
but I knew exactly what he was doing. I was watching him like a hawk, because it was his first time doing walking lunges. He went, ooh. I was like, get up. Get fucking up. Fucking go on, right? Go again.
Let's go.
And then he done it again, and he was fine. I'm like, see, you know what I mean? So like, in time, he won't feel pain the same, because he'll understand, right? That's what that is. Mm-hmm. Or then he'll go, I pulled that. I'm on the way. Oh, it's out.
Enough bananas today. No, but like response to pain, like that is another underrated benefit of lifting weights, because you're exposing yourself to that fatigue, that soreness. Like your pain threshold then becomes higher.
And mental pain threshold as well.
Eh?
Mental pain threshold.
Right,
if you do a full leg day, you understand the mental pain.
What you've been able to push through.
Yeah.
And that's nicely onto like adversity as well. Like some people go through more shit than others.
Yeah.
And depending on your mindset of that, we spoke about mindset last week, but having a strong mindset, or will this be Monday's one? No, I don't know. Like one of the previous episodes is going to be about mindset. But one thing that can get you mentally resilient is lifting weights, and you can always tell the person who's went through shit, but hasn't taken that victim mentality hood and is taken it as, right, this situation hasn't happened to me, it's happened for me, and this is going to make me stronger, in whatever way that it might be, depending on the situation. So That's another thing. Like you go for 8 reps and you're at 6 and you go, I can't get 2 more, and then you get those 2 more and you're like, wow,
I can do it.
Right, and think about that.
I think that's where about the confidence in me. Like when we were speaking about the confidence, I think being able to do that consistently week in, week out, then you go, right, if I can do that in the gym, why can I not do that in my life?
And that's the same why you're such a big believer of the cold showers, right? Because it's no nice. No. You don't want to do it, but it's like, right, I know if I do this,
I can do anything else.
Anything else is achievable.
Yeah.
Like what is that when it comes to it?
Exactly.
Cool. Right. Last one there then. Let you crack on with it. That's your point.
So it gives a routine and sense of purpose. So many people out there these days are like, I don't like my job, I don't like this, I don't like that. But or they're with their family, and when you're speaking with your family, there's always an emotional connection. What I find is, you go to the gym, if you enjoy it, it's a routine, you go and do it, it gives you time. Whether it's with you're a friend, it's still you time, even if you're with the same friend every time. It's still you time. It's a sense of purpose of getting better, because you don't go to the gym to get worse, you always go to the gym to get better. So if you've got a solid routine in place and you're achieving it, you're achieving your goals, as we've already spoke about, it gives you that sense of purpose of getting better. As you get better in the gym, you get better outside the gym, and it's just a slow and evolving door.
It carries over, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it extremely carries over.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better than increasing your squat, increasing your deadlift, increasing your bench press.
Or just like you said, being the person that was shaking coming in, being able to walk into
being able to do it.
The guy section. You said something there like some people, you don't come to the gym to. What was it? You don't come to the gym to beat yourself up. Like some people do. So if you're listening to this, like that's a mindset that you need to shift, because that's you don't get any of these benefits if you're in that mindset.
Yeah.
If you're like, man, I fucked it.
Nick go.
I fucking ate all this birthday cake and had a pizza and all that. Right, I'm going to go in. I'm going to smash myself. I'm going to go to body pump, and then I'm going to do 40 minutes to Stairmaster, and then I'm going to do this. And then you're like,
I'm going to burn 3,000 calories in a session.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about like resilience.
It's a very depressing way to lift weights.
And look, I don't think anyone, if you broke it down to it, does anyone really lift weights because they enjoy the lifting weights aspect? It's not. You enjoy the other parts of it. What are you looking at me like?
I fucking love lifting weights.
But do you enjoy the actual lifting weights part, or do you enjoy the feeling that you get from maxing out? Like, it's all these other feelings that we're talking about.
I love lifting weights.
What, you like picking iron up, putting it down?
Aye.
Well,
I love.
Where were you at the weekend when I need a hand move and stuff then? You like it that much? No,
you dirty bastard!
I think most people, it's you don't do it because you love that part of it. You do it because you know what the gain from it is.
Maybe I just know it that well that I do it for that reason. But I don't know. I love it.
I think if you broke it down, you would really come to it.
I don't know, man. When I see weighting that squat bar and I'm hyping myself up, I love it.
I mean, I've got hardstyle playing in my fucking ear.
Sometimes I don't even need music, mate. I just walk up to that bar and I fucking love it.
Like, I'm the main character.
I love the dun. And I love the dun.
Big dun.
The ecstasy, the serotonin and dopamine flowing through me.
Love it too much, man.
I love it a bit too much.
Alright, guys, so there you have it. There is how many benefits? Lots of benefits.
That was a lot. That was a good few.
So we'll break it down, put it in the title. But
yeah,
as always, guys, thank you very much for tuning into this episode. If you have just found us and you're watching us on YouTube, then do like the best way you can support us is by giving us a thumbs up.
Or by sending me money to my PayPal.
So we'll leave that down below. Either or is fine. But you can find us on Instagram at Bulletproof Mindset UK. You can find me at Coach Crosser.
You can find me at Raw Gym Fit.
See you guys soon.
Have a nice one. That was.
Count them out.
So there is one. Oh, forgot to hire sex drive.